Miami.
Okay.
So from there is where I was discharged. While I was there, I just prepared to get out.
Right.
I was a veteran, so I didn't have to do too much of anything.
Right, right. And so you leave once you got home in 67.
Once I was discharged.
No, I meant, so it's once you left Vietnam.
Okay.
Was it about 30 days? It was 30 days leave before you?
About 30 days.
Okay.
Before.
So actually you flew there. And what was the assignment there in essence?
To more or less train some of the guys on
Okay.
on the intercepting and signal intelligence.
Right.
My last assignment was this one. You may or may not have heard about the USS Pueblo.
Yeah.
My last assignment was to get the intelligence from what was going on there when I was taken over by Caruthers.
You know, that was big news.
Let's do this here.
Okay, it's the USS Pueblo. Okay. And it was to find out what the Koreans had captured.
And what they were talking to the Russians about.
Okay. Okay.
Because I was North Korea that
Right.
initiated that action. All right. So and then from there, again, process. Coming back, I was involved in Miami. Well, maybe it was before that, but I was on a drill team while I was in Florida. It might have been before this one. It might have been Pensacola. So I did some things, some work in the community, and that type of thing that helped prepare me for getting out. I also looked at one school, University of Miami, trying to see if I want to take some classes there.
Okay. So now, let's say you're pretty much close to being discharged. You know, the last 2 weeks or so. So what was that like, and what did you do for preparation for coming home?
Okay. It was somewhat like the rest of my life prior to and since then. When I saw I was getting close, I got myself ready. I went a lot of goodbyes. The commanding officer said, "Would you like to re-enlist, and we'll pay you some extra money. We'll give you another strike." I said, "No." He said, "Well, get out." Okay. So I packed up my gear, put everything I owned in my Volkswagen, 1966 Volkswagen, and it was like one bag, ski bag, and my reel-to-reel Roberts tape recorder, and drove from Florida. I spent a lot of time in Key West as well. But drove from Florida back to Michigan, singing all the way.
Okay. So
gas was $1 a gallon.
Yeah. Big long time ago, right? Yeah. So now you're home, and what was that like? As far as getting home and just take us through the readjustment period and the family stuff.
Well, naturally, I was looking at a job. I got to go to work. I was getting unemployment. So I got unemployment for a little while when I was there trying to figure out what I was going to do. And my first thought process was to go to the post office because that's where everybody went when I was there.
Right.
So I applied for the post office, and a friend of my dad's, who had passed, he said, "Well, look, why don't you apply for this new position in this new place that they're opening up in Detroit?" I said, "Okay." So I applied for that as well as the post office. Didn't get a call from the post office, but I got a call from this other place, which I later found out was the IRS. But it was called the Data Center. And it was the first one that opened up outside of the one in Washington. So it was the first data center that the IRS opened up outside of Washington. So that was my first job for $3,000 a year.
Okay. Good money back in those days.
Work with collators, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you, as far as readjusting to civilian life, were there any uniqueness about it?
Not so much the adjustment part, because I think adjustment starts with you. If you're psychologically kind of in tune with what you need to be in tune with, in my case, it had to do with my faith. So I was in tune there, which meant that I didn't have to prove too much of anything to anybody. I didn't know groups and all of that. So So my adjustment period had to do with me being at a point where I felt comfortable enough to take on the ultimate responsibility, which was to get married and have kids. So I wanted to make sure I was in a place where I had, because I'd already done more than most people had done in their lifetime. I'd already seen that. So what was this life all about that everybody was talking about? Single people, and you out of the military, you didn't do anything you wanted. Well, I was doing anything I wanted to in the military. So now I wanted to do something that was going to be making a difference, not only to myself, but to others. I wanted to do something that was going to be a legacy type of situation, but then who would be the legacy for? So that's where the kids came in. So I started looking at planning like that. One of the first things I did was to enroll in a place called Wayne County Community College, which was just opening up. I think the doors had only been open a couple of years. So I started there. And education has been a lifelong process for me.
So you went to Wayne County Community College. Did you obtain a degree there?
Graduated with social arts.
Way back, 73, 75? I'm assuming the GI Bill covered some of this.
That's right. Some of it.
Right. And during this time too, did you have any? I know we touched on this a little bit, but did you have any other friends or associates from the military of your military day that you were still in touch with at this period of time?
No. Okay. Not at that period of time. I lost track. My closest military comrade was in Hawaii when I went to Vietnam, and he wrote me letters and said he wanted to come, but he was married, and he named his first son after me. I told him not to come because it was too much nonsense, and he needed to take care of his family. So he never went. I eventually, when I got married, I went to see him. My wife and I went to visit him in Kentucky. He and his wife, Jesus. So I got to meet my namesake and all that. But as far as guys from Vietnam, I haven't seen any of those guys since I got there.
All right. So you went into a profession. You were at the IRS.
I was at the IRS. I was in data processing. I was a computer operator. Moved up through the ranks there, supervisor and all of that, shift leader and all of that, and eventually a mid-level manager. I came out as that. But as part of being in the IRS, it wasn't just one job, which made it a career for me, because I was able to do quite a few things. Basically, I was in what they call information systems now, so I ended up in networking and all of that.
Okay, so you had a career at the IRS.
That's correct.
In that, okay.
That's correct.
And I understand you're teaching now. Did you retire from the IRS?
Retired from the IRS in 07. January 07.
Okay. How many years?
After 38. 38 years.
Okay. And so, this teaching thing, how does this come about?
Okay. Well, part of what my mantra has been, and once getting out of the military and finding what I needed to do to hopefully be successful, and I call it faith, family, and faculty. Faculty being the educator piece. My faith is I'm strong in that, and working in that on a daily basis naturally, and my family is just that. I'm a strong believer that you go to family before you go to anybody, in good times and in bad times, and that's where your love starts. After faith, after you believe in God. So you have faith, family, and the educator piece was once I got back from the military, once I got out, discharged, started Wayne County, I said, well, shoot, this is okay, I kind of like this, being a student, but I think I'd rather be a teacher. So I thought about that as I migrated through and got my master's on the doctorate program now. My thought has always been that before you can lead, you got to follow. Before you can teach, you got to be a student. Before you can hear, you got to listen. All those things led me to believing that it's part of service, my service serving to God, service to man. To give back is one of the ultimate give backs, making a difference, positive difference.